Hey, how's everyone doing today? Well, today I'm talking about Despicable Me 3, a film that I saw, starring Miranda Cosgrove, Kristen Wiig, and the very talented Steve Carrell. So I'm going to keep this review uncut. Maybe you saw my Baby Driver movie review. I kept that uncut as well, so I want to keep this one uncut as well so I can get my honest thoughts out to you guys. I'm trying this new review format to see how it works out, but I'm not sure how it'll work out. So far I'm liking it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. And let's get started with the review, guys. Basically, this movie 3 tells a lot of stories in one. And the major one is about Balthazar Brat, who is basically this character who is very 80s inspired and was part of this 80s TV show where he was a kid, and now he basically thinks he's the real character in real life. Despicable Me 3 I thought was a complete dud, and sadly came as a sad disappointment to me because I really enjoyed Despicable Me 1, Despicable Me 2, and Minions at best is an average film for me. One of the reasons I didn't like Despicable Me 3 is because of the messy screenplay. There are about 4 to 5 different plot lines in this movie. 4 to 5 different plot lines in one movie. And half of which don't actually have anything to do with the major plot line, which is the enmity between Balthazar Brat and Gru. And also maybe you can say a little bit of a major plot line is Gru's relationship with his brother Drew. So these two plot lines are of the 4 or 5 plot lines in the story, and only 2 of these are actual major plot lines. So the film cuts back and forth between these plot lines, and you're completely confused on what you're supposed to focus on. The writing is messy, the editing is extremely messy, and it just is a messy film. It didn't understand which direction it wanted the film to go in. They threw in random characters that sometimes felt important, sometimes didn't, and you couldn't tell what you were supposed to think of those characters, and it felt very unnecessary to have them a lot of the time. And overall, things were just being shoved at you in the film, and it just felt too forced into a small running time of 1 hour and 36 minutes. They tried to put in so many different plot lines. And that just comes to a discussion of Despicable Me movies. Why did I love them so much? 1 and 2, what made them so endearing for me is that they stuck to one path, and then they provided comedy in that path, and sometimes a little bit more heart too. This film tries to flesh out a little bit of heart through the brother relationship between Gru and Drew, but it's so sidetracked by like the 4 other plot lines that the film is trying to juggle. You never really feel anything at all. And the comedy doesn't hit either because of the juggled plot lines. It's not that I didn't laugh in the theater. I occasionally did, and occasionally I would also smile and laugh and giggle or whatever. But, the film just did not have the jokes that 1 and 2 provided, most because it was juggling so many different things in its head at all times. There were a lot of interesting new characters we got to see. Drew, I did not like his character. It felt unnecessary. I'd rather have him left out because they were trying to make him the heart of the story, as I said earlier, but it didn't work out well because they were trying to juggle so many things. What I wish this movie could have been was basically the story of Balthazar Brat and Gru, and somehow just keep it to that, and maybe work a little bit more on Lucy's relationship with the girls, or anything for heart-wise. I don't care. Heart is something, the soul of the film is what I call the heart of the film. It's just what you put in there to make the film feel more important than its, usually plot. You have a film with a plot like this, me, there's laughs, there's spontaneousness, but the heart keeps the film together and keeps a binding throughout the film. But there was no binding in this film. It was just a bunch of loose pages, I feel. And there's one particular scene in which Gru is handed a soup made of gummy bears and meat, and he sarcastically retorts, wow, thank you so much for this soup of gummy bears and meat. And that was me at the end of the movie. I was like, wow, thank you, directors of Despicable Me for this soup of gummy bears and meat, where you threw in a bunch of things and then the final product didn't work out. Now, that doesn't mean that Despicable Me 3 is all bad. I agree there are some laughs. The Minions provide some of those laughs. Personally, a lot of people I know on the internet and everywhere, I've talked to people who think that the Minions are just a sidetracked side character, feel more unnecessary than anything. I think they're okay in this film, but even they didn't get much screen time because of the screenplay. And overall, the film was kind of weak. I do like the art direction of these films every time. It looks really good. The colors are very vivid. But with a plot like this that just isn't able to juggle itself completely or put in those many ideas into one film, even the art direction at one point was just didn't feel like it amounted to anything. And really, honestly, guys, by the end of this movie, I was really bored. So I'm gonna give Despicable Me 3 a C+ for being occasionally funny and having some good, vivid animation. And I also like Balthazar Bratt's character. I think he was cool. If they had used him more, I would have liked him more. But it's really a dud. I'd skip it. Seriously, it's not that fun. And it's definitely much worse than the first two, and even Minions. So that's all I have for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will have more reviews out to you guys soon. Hopefully the Spider-Man review too. And that's all I have, guys.